Welcome to the Making Rooms podcast. My name is Eric, and these are my ruminations on designing, publishing, and creating community for my Explore Rooms role-playing game. If you want to start playing Explore Rooms today, you should get the free Explore Rooms Pocket Guide. This is a one-sheet rules that you can download, print, cut, and fold into an 8-page zine. Inside are the rule set, some example rooms that you can play in, and then a little story where your Ruminauts have been shrunk down and Bandit the hamster is going to help them get back to size. So you can head over to explorerooms.com /pocket guide, and the link is in the description below. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about my project roadmap. I'm starting to fill my whiteboard with new ideas of what I think should be coming next, what I'd love to create, and what things might happen later in the year as maybe more of these ideas percolate. Now, it is just an initial map. If you have ideas that you think would pair well with the Let's Go to Roomino book or the Pocket Guide or anything else that I've created or that you think would fit in with this, what you'd love to play with your kids, please leave me a comment below. I'm always looking for suggestions and ideas for creating games and settings and inspiration to help families play role-playing games together. So, look forward to some of these ideas further in the episode, but first, let's go to an Explore Room. You're in a blank white room, but scattered across the room are puddles of ink of all different colors. And on one wall, there is a giant sheet of paper hanging from the ceiling. What do? You rush over and jump onto the red ink splotch. But instead of splashing everywhere, the ink absorbs up and around and covers your entire body. You are now completely red. You can jump around to other puddles and change your color as you want, but you are now covered in ink. You walk over to the paper and you touch it. And some of the ink absorbs into the paper, and you see the words, "Draw a door." You draw a door with your finger in the shape of a tree. All of the ink absorbing from you into the paper. Then you're able to open the door and continue on to the next room. I hope you enjoyed that little messy, but at the end clean room to explore, and feel free to use that when playing with your kids. Cindy Ingram is a champion of creativity on TikTok. And in one of their videos that I saved, they had this to say: "The secret to consistent creativity is not about mastering motivation or discipline. It's in making it feel so safe and so fun that you actually want to show up." As I'm embarking on creating this roadmap and a lot of these ideas ahead, I need to stay creative. I know that there's a lot of things that can get in the way of that. There's obligations, there's, whether that's family or other work or other things. But there's also in trying, when you create a deadline or you create an obligation around creativity, sometimes that can take away some of it as well. And so I think I need to hold on to both the things that I need to get done because I've promised it to people, or I've got a project that I want to see to completion, but now it's sort of in a job or a task kind of status rather than a creative status. But I also need to maintain and hold on to maybe projects that don't quite have that deadline yet, don't quite have that firm boundary, and that I can use those to explore and create and do other things. So I think for me, it's finding that what I need in those combination of stages. Different projects are going to be in different stages. And so staying and showing up, having those brand new ideas and future things that don't have deadlines, that don't have restrictions yet, and using those to be creative in, to help me stay creative in all those other things I have to do or have chosen to do for my books and for my stories. So thank you, Cindy, for being a champion of creativity, and I hope that helped any of you listening in your efforts to stay creative. All right, time for the main topic, and that is my 2025 Creative Project Explore Rooms roadmap. Now, first and foremost, the highest priority that I have right now is fulfilling my Kickstarter, making sure that my book, Let's Go to Roomino, goes to print, that everything goes off without a hitch, and that in April, all of those books get out to my backers. It's the absolute most important thing to me. If it wasn't for those backers and this project, I wouldn't be sitting here talking about the next one. It took me so long just to get started on that one that it kind of stunted other ideas. Now there's a logistics side to Let's Go to Roomino and getting that to more places. First and foremost, the PDF is live on the website that you can download now. The print book is up for pre-order on my website. All Kickstarter backer rewards are going to get fulfilled first before any website pre-orders go out. So just to clarify, I've got that obligation, but pre-orders are available on the website if you are interested in getting the book and would be looking forward to receiving it in April. The next thing I need to learn how to do is get these books into retail stores and potentially in the hands of distributors who would get those to even more retail stores. So that's a part of this that I don't have a lot of knowledge in or experience in. I love talking with people. I love connecting the dots. So maybe that it won't be as difficult as it seems, but I don't know what I don't know. All that being said, let's get into the creative ideas and inspired projects that I hope to get into for Explore Rooms and Roomino specifically. My goals for creating new products are threefold. One, I want to create fast ways for parents and kids and adults to get into role-playing games faster and have fun wherever they are. Two, I want to provide kind of inspiration, whether it be art or stories or smaller books that can help take players to new places and help people, roomsmiths, come up with new ideas to keep their games fresh so you can create the rooms and the challenges that fit your players. And lastly, I want to share advice for how to introduce role-playing games to kids, how to shape the games to fit where your kids are, whether it be their preferences, whether it be their moods, whether it be their energy levels. Whatever it is, there's lots of ways to adapt and change Explore Rooms to fit whatever you need in the moment, or so I hope. The next books I'd like to create would be Roomino setting books. These would be short, maybe 8 to 10 page zines that would let me explore different aspects of Roomino and flesh it out as the Never Never land that it is in my mind. So that could include, a fantasy setting. What would rooms look like in a pirate theme? How would you do rooms with dinosaurs or prehistoric places? And what would it be like traveling to space or experiencing aliens? So those would be some settings that would come with different rooms. They'd have art and, for coloring and new creatures. Might have tables of just ideas to sprinkle into your games, etc. I think it would provide you with some more interesting ways to bring Explore Rooms to your kids in a way that most reflects games you might already play. If you already play Dungeons and Dragons or other fantasy settings, what would be some fantasy Explore Rooms that you could look at? Or if you like playing science fiction where you're exploring space, what would Explore Rooms look like if you're exploring space and meeting new aliens? So I think those would be fun things to work on. It uses a lot of the same framework that I've already set up in Let's Go to Roomino, and it'll be sort of continuing on with that format, with those elements, and it would be kind of familiar. So just be building on and creating kind of more options for playing your games of Explore Rooms. Let me know what you think. Does that sound fun to have these additional settings that you could play with? Are there any other ideas that you would have for settings that you'd like to explore with your kiddos or other parts of Roomino themes that exist within this fictitious space? After a couple of those settings books, I'd like to explore what I've called rigs and races. I have a vision for Explore Rooms being modular, meaning that you could add on or take away different aspects depending on, again, what your ruminants are looking for at the given moment, or what you have time for, or the brain power for, whatever it is. Rigs and races would add additional challenges and modes of playing in the explore rooms that are different than just a room-to-room romp. Each explore room is a simple puzzle as it is. You present a room, you put one thing in the room, and you're looking for a trigger of some sort from the players to kind of reveal the surprise of the room. You give the players a chance to engage with the one thing you've put in the room, and if they make one of those trigger actions, you surprise them, you reward them, and you surrender any of those surprises, and you lead them to the next room. With rigs, rooms would get a bit more challenging. First, you might have multiple actions that could trigger the surprise of the room, and each one being a different surprise. You may have to find one thing in one room and take it to a different room and unlock the surprise there. Conversely, you may have multiple things that could be the thing that unlocks the surprise, but you have to determine what that is. Those options could be very obvious, like putting a round shape into a round hole. They could be something more associative, like making sure a frog gets on the lily pad as opposed to the duck going on the lily pad. Or they could be more conceptual. It could be about associating. Do I associate flowers more with rain or more with sunshine? Do I bird seed more with plants or with birds? So all of those things are things that I would look at expanding with rigs. So multi-room, multiple choice, concrete to vague concepts that would help challenge your players more and strengthen their critical thinking. Now, races would have some similar aspects, but it would be about traversing multiple rooms to get to an exit point before some other external factor happens. This could be a tidal wave of bathwater, wanting them to get clean. It could be an avalanche of chocolate. Tasty, but do you want to be buried underneath it? Or it could be a tickle monster covered in feathers trying to capture them and tickle them. All the things that you're sort of familiar with when you're playing kind of catch games with kids, but these would be cooperative. It would allow them to be trying to do puzzles faster and pick certain choices or pick from multiple options within a room in order to stay ahead of that wave of something that they don't want to be caught by. So what do you think? What do you think of adding challenges through the rigs where puzzles get more complex, or introducing races where cooperatively a group of ruminants needs to escape an oncoming wave of bathwater? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's talk about kind of my podcast and maybe social channels, etc. Currently, Making Rooms podcast has been about my journey of making rooms. Let's go to Roomino and taking it to Kickstarter and all the pieces and part of the process of bringing it to market. And I want to keep creating those, but I don't know if that's the kind of content that is necessarily directed at the audience who's going to buy these books and share them with their kids. Now I know there's some of you that overlap with being a indie game designer and have kids that you want to share role-playing games with, and that this product would fit you, right? This game might suit what you're looking for perfectly. But there are others out there who maybe are GMs and aren't necessarily trying to design games whole hog. Or there are players who maybe want to be GMs or want to kind of take on a light role-playing game that they can introduce their kids to and have that fun. So I think I've got to maybe create a second or a different piece of content or multiple pieces of content that speak directly towards that audience. And so I think the Making Rooms podcast will continue and still keep talking about sort of how I'm creating stuff or how I'm working through all of this. But I think I also need to create maybe a separate podcast or video series targeting strictly parents who want to share their love of role-playing games with kids. And that may take a different form. That might mean that the Explore Rooms channel becomes more like focused on that, and maybe there's another channel that I create for the making rooms. I may keep them both on the same channel for a while, but I think in the long term, the Explore Rooms channels, whether they be YouTube, TikTok, or Blue Sky, should probably focus more on getting this game in the hands or in front of parents who want to share their love of role-playing with kids. And the game design journal should probably recede either into the back or move somewhere else where it can be more about me and my journey as opposed to the game and the audience. Because when you're selling a game to people, it needs to be about them and their experiences, not just about you. So it's a balance. All those things are intertwined, and it works for now. It's probably not anytime soon, but just to let you know kind of what's on my mind, what could be coming up for this channel and for my content, so you're not confused later if you see it. I think that's everything I have for this episode. Connect with me in the comments below. What are some of your ideas for what I could create in the future that fits with Let's Go to Roomino, the values that I've shared here, and what you might be interested in for playing role-playing games with your kids. And connect with me on other platforms, on TikTok, Blue Sky, or wherever you're at. Until then, I'll see you in the next room.